New York City, a place of towering ambition where steel and stone rise like monuments to human ingenuity. But beneath the skyline we all recognize, beyond the tourist-laden streets and the neon glow of Times Square, there exists another New York, a city of secrets, a city of whispers, a city of hidden architectural wonders that most will never see. Have you ever walked down a familiar street and sensed something different? A strange energy, a feeling that time has folded in on itself, revealing echoes of an era long forgotten? Perhaps it was a peculiar doorway tucked between glass skyscrapers, an ornate carving weathered by the years, or a building that seemed to hum with a presence beyond its physical form. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses into a hidden world, a forgotten language written in stone, brick, and iron. New York is often seen as a city of relentless modernity, but woven into its fabric are ancient mysteries and sacred geometries, silent testimonies of the past embedded in its architecture. Some structures guard their secrets behind unassuming facades, while others boldly stand as overlooked masterpieces, waiting for those with the eyes to see. From arcane symbols carved into forgotten buildings to entire structures built in defiance of time, these hidden gems tell stories of ambition, esoteric knowledge, and the forces that have shaped this city's soul. Tonight we embark on a journey beyond the ordinary. We will uncover the forgotten temples of commerce, the mystical alignments of stone and sky, the architectural echoes of vanished civilizations, all hiding in plain sight. As we walk these streets together, you will begin to see the city not as it is often presented, but as it truly is, a labyrinth of wonders, a living testament to the past, present, and future, encoded in the very buildings that surround us. Stay with me, and by the end of this exploration, you will never look at New York City the same way again. To understand the hidden architectural gems of New York City, we must first understand the city itself, not just as a physical space, but as a living entity, an organism with a soul shaped by time, ambition, and the silent hands of history. Like an ancient palimpsest, New York has been written and rewritten, its streets layered with the stories of those who came before. The Lenape people, who first walked these lands, believed in the sacred balance of nature and spirit, seeing the towering cliffs and flowing rivers as living forces. When Dutch settlers arrived in the 1600s, they laid the first foundation stones of the city, unknowingly setting in motion a future where power, industry, and mysticism would intertwine. But there is something deeper at work in New York's architecture, an invisible current, a design philosophy that transcends mere function. Many of the city's greatest buildings were not just built to house businesses or institutions, they were created as monuments to hidden knowledge, encoded with symbols that whisper of ancient traditions. Look at the Woolworth Building, once the tallest in the world. It was nicknamed the Cathedral of Commerce, but step closer and you will see it as more than a place of business. Gothic spires reach skyward, gargoyles watch from above, and deep within, intricate mosaics mirror the sacred geometry found in medieval cathedrals. Frank W. Woolworth himself was fascinated by secret societies and esoteric teachings. Was it mere coincidence that his masterpiece feels like a temple? Or consider the lesser-known American Radiator Building, black brick rising against the skyline, gold accents glimmering like an alchemist's vision. This was no ordinary structure. It was a deliberate homage to transformation, to fire, to the hidden power of energy itself. The architects, whether knowingly or not, tapped into a truth known since antiquity, that buildings are not just physical forms, but vessels for ideas, for power, for spirit. And what of the city's alignment? Many of its streets and structures echo patterns found in sacred cities around the world. Was this by accident, or did the great builders of the past understand something modern minds have forgotten? Consider how the sun aligns with the city's grid during Manhattan Henge, an event where the setting sun perfectly aligns with the streets, illuminating the urban canyon in a blaze of gold. This is not unlike the solstice alignments of Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids. Intentional or not, New York has become a modern temple to celestial forces. As we begin to unearth the hidden architectural gems of this city, remember, these buildings are more than stone and steel. They are messages left by those who came before, invitations to see beyond the surface. And if you learn how to read them, they will reveal truths long forgotten. The hidden temples of New York. What if I told you that New York City is a labyrinth of forgotten temples, disguised as office buildings, banks, and apartment complexes? These are not temples in the traditional sense. There are no priests in robes, no incense filling the air, but their structures, their symbols, their very essence tell a different story. Let us begin our journey at the Grand Lodge of New York, an unassuming building on West 23rd Street. From the outside, it could be mistaken for any other historic structure, but step inside and you enter a different realm. Here, within the walls of one of the most significant Masonic lodges in the world, lies a hidden world of esoteric wisdom. Stained glass windows depict the ancient symbols of Freemasonry, the compass and square, the all-seeing eye, the twin pillars of Boaz and Jachin, echoes of the sacred architecture found in Solomon's temple. These are not mere decorations. They are part of an unbroken chain of knowledge, passed down from the builders of the Great Pyramids to the architects of the modern world. But the Masons were not the only ones encoding messages into the city's architecture. A few blocks away, at the Beaux-Arts-style AT&T long-distance building, an enigmatic structure reveals its own secrets. Its imposing fortress-like facade suggests power, mystery, and secrecy. Look closely, and you will find mythological creatures, ancient symbols, and decorative motifs that speak of something beyond mere telecommunications. It is a monument to an age when architecture was more than aesthetics. It was a form of communication, a silent transmission of hidden knowledge. Then there is the Paramount Building in Times Square, an overlooked treasure with a celestial secret. At its peak, a glowing clock and globe rest like a beacon of cosmic significance. Few realize that this was once one of the tallest buildings in the city, and even fewer know that its design subtly nods to the ancient concept of the celestial sphere. The idea that the heavens and the earth are inextricably linked. In its prime, this building was a temple of entertainment, where music and film acted as modern-day rituals, shaping the consciousness of the masses. But perhaps one of the most fascinating architectural anomalies in the city is the Little Singer Building, tucked away on Broadway. Unlike the towering steel and glass skyscrapers that dominate the skyline, this delicate, almost mystical structure feels like a relic from another dimension. Its intricate ironwork and ethereal design seem more suited for a palace in Venice or a forgotten cathedral in France. What was the intention behind such a dreamlike building? Some say it represents the lost art of architecture as poetry, a final breath of an era where beauty and mystery were paramount. New York City is filled with such places, hidden temples of commerce, forgotten monuments of power, and structures that seem to whisper secrets to those who are willing to listen. But this is only the beginning. There are deeper mysteries to uncover, encoded symbols waiting to be deciphered, and buildings that hold forgotten energies within their walls. Let us continue our journey into the unseen, because once you start looking, you will find that the entire city is a vast, living grimoire, waiting for those with the eyes to read its pages. The secret language of the city. To the untrained eye, a building is just a building, steel, stone, glass. But to those who understand the hidden language of architecture, every facade is a message, every ornament a cipher, every structure a portal into another realm. New York City, more than almost any other place in the modern world, speaks in this forgotten tongue. Consider the Alwyn Court Building, an extravagant yet easily overlooked residential masterpiece at 58th Street and 7th Avenue. Its exterior is an explosion of intricate terracotta, weaving together mythological beasts, floral motifs, and heraldic symbols. But beneath the surface lies something deeper, an invocation of old-world European mysticism. The griffins and dragons that adorn its walls are not mere decorations. They are guardians, protectors of those who dwell within, echoes of an ancient belief that architecture itself can be a form of alchemy, transmuting the mundane into the magical. And then there is the Jefferson Market Library, a Victorian Gothic jewel rising in Greenwich Village, like something out of a dream. Once a courthouse, its clock tower and pointed spires evoke the image of an old-world cathedral. But this is no accident. Its design is meant to invoke a sense of time's fluidity, a blending of the past and present. The courthouse saw trials that shaped the city, its walls absorbing the energy of each judgment, each sentence, each story. Now, as a library, it serves a different purpose, a temple of knowledge, its grand windows filtering light like the stained glass of a medieval sanctuary. Perhaps one of the most enigmatic structures in the city is the Beekman Hotel, a building that once sat abandoned, forgotten like a relic of another age. Step inside and you are transported to a different world. Its towering atrium spirals upward, crowned by a pyramidal skylight that seems to channel light from the heavens. This is the architecture of ascension, like the great ziggurats and pyramids of the ancient world. It draws the eye and the soul upward. One cannot stand beneath its iron railings and endless staircases without feeling a sense of movement, of journeying, of passage from one realm to another. And what of the city's most secretive structures, the ones hiding in plain sight? The seemingly ordinary doorways with peculiar symbols above them, the brown stones with odd inscriptions carved into their lintels, the forgotten theaters whose stages still hold the ghosts of performances past. Some say that beneath the streets, tunnels connect long-forgotten meeting places, and that some of the city's most unassuming buildings once housed societies devoted to unlocking the mysteries of existence. This is the New York City that few ever see, a city where architecture is more than shelter. It is a story, a ritual, a portal. The great architects of the past did not simply build, they inscribed meaning into stone and steel. They understood that a building could be more than its walls, that it could shape the people within it, that it could be a vessel for something greater. Now that you see the patterns, the symbols, the hidden messages, what will you do with this knowledge? Because once you have glimpsed the secret city, you can never return to seeing New York the same way again. Seeing the invisible city. Knowledge is only as valuable as what we do with it. Now that we have uncovered the hidden language of New York City's architecture, the question remains, how can you experience this unseen world for yourself? Most people walk through the streets of this metropolis without ever truly seeing it. They glance at the towering skyscrapers, the historic facades, the ornate ironwork on a forgotten doorway, and dismiss them as mere background. But once you learn to look, really look, you will find yourself walking in a different city, one layered with symbols, stories, and silent echoes of the past. So here is your challenge. Begin to see the unseen. 1. The ritual of observation, walking with awareness. The next time you find yourself in the city, slow down. Walk as if you are moving through a sacred space, because in many ways, you are. Look up, above the distractions of street-level advertisements and neon signs. Pay attention to the details most overlook. The carvings on old banks, the strange symbols above doorways, the peculiar architectural choices that seem to belong to another time or even another world. Bring a notebook or a camera, record what calls to you. There is no coincidence in what draws your attention. Your intuition is guiding you. If a building stirs something in you, research it. Find out who built it, when, and why. Often you will uncover connections you never expected. 2. Discover the sacred geometry of the city. Architects and builders of the past understood the power of sacred geometry, mathematical principles that echo throughout nature, art, and even the structure of the universe itself. From the perfect symmetry of Beaux-Arts buildings to the celestial alignments of certain landmarks, these proportions are hidden in plain sight. For instance, visit St. Patrick's Cathedral and notice how its soaring spires and pointed arches evoke the divine, drawing energy upward. Then contrast this with the New York Public Library, where symmetry and proportion create an atmosphere of wisdom and balance. What do you feel in these spaces? How does their design influence your mind, your emotions, even your sense of time? You can apply this awareness in your own life. Arrange your space with intention. Incorporate elements of sacred geometry in your home, your workspace, even in the way you dress or move through the world. The principles of harmonious design are not just for grand buildings. They shape the very fabric of our reality. 3. Tune into the city's energy, the forgotten power of places. Every place holds an energy, a resonance built up over time. Some locations feel charged, alive with the presence of history, while others seem to drain or stifle the spirit. The next time you visit a historic building, take a moment to simply be present. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, notice what you feel. Try this in a place like the Beekman Hotel with its dramatic, ascending atrium, or the Jefferson Market Library, a space transformed from a courthouse into a sanctuary of knowledge. What do you sense? Can you feel the echoes of the past? For those who seek deeper experience, certain buildings, especially those aligned with sacred geometry, can be used as meditative spaces. Stand in Grand Central Terminal under the celestial ceiling and let the vastness of the space shift your perspective. Visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art and lose yourself in its grand halls, where art and architecture merge into a portal to other eras. 4. Explore the unseen, finding your own hidden gems. There are still mysteries waiting for you. Not all of them are in guidebooks, and many are overlooked even by lifelong New Yorkers. Start with the places we have discussed, but then let your intuition guide you. Walk down streets you have never explored before. Seek out the strange, the old, the out of place. Here are a few lesser-known gems to begin your own journey. The Cherokee Apartments, a unique complex on the Upper East Side with a haunting past and an unusual design inspired by European sanatoriums. The Little Church around the corner, a Gothic revival church tucked away in Midtown, rumored to have a connection to secret societies. The Whispering Gallery at Grand Central, an acoustic anomaly hidden in one of the busiest places in the city where sound travels in unexpected ways. Sniffin Court, a hidden muse in Murray Hill where the past lingers in cobblestone and ivy-covered facades. Each of these places tells a story. Each holds a secret. The city is full of such locations. You only need to seek them out. Awakening to the hidden city. New York City is not just a place. It is a living text, a manuscript written in stone and steel, waiting for those who have the eyes to read it. The more you train yourself to see, the more this hidden world will reveal itself to you. And remember, this practice of perception is not just about architecture, it is about life. When you begin to notice the unseen, when you start asking questions about the world around you, you awaken something within yourself, a curiosity, an awareness, a connection to something greater. So go forth. Walk the city like an explorer of old. Look beyond the surface, see the unseen, and in doing so, you will find that the greatest hidden treasure of all is not the city itself, but the transformation that happens within you. A city transformed, a soul awakened. New York City is a living paradox, a place of constant movement, yet filled with echoes of the past. A modern metropolis, yet built upon ancient principles. A landscape of towering steel, yet inscribed with hidden symbols and forgotten wisdom. Most who walk these streets never see beyond the surface. But you, now armed with the knowledge of the city's hidden architectural gems, can never look at it the same way again. Every building tells a story. Every forgotten alley holds a secret. Every overlooked detail is a whisper from another time. The next time you stand beneath the spire of an old building or pass by an ornate doorway, ask yourself, what message was left here? What was meant to be seen? What was meant to be hidden? But this journey is not just about uncovering the past. It is about transforming the way you perceive the world around you. When you begin to see New York through new eyes, you are not just discovering architecture, you are awakening a deeper awareness. This is the essence of esoteric wisdom, not just knowledge for its own sake, but knowledge that changes you. So I leave you with this. Let the city be your teacher. Walk with intention. Observe with curiosity. Seek out the places that call to you and let them reveal their secrets. And most importantly, apply this awareness beyond the streets of New York. Because once you have learned to see the hidden world here, you will find that every city, every space, every moment holds its own mysteries waiting to be unveiled. The question is, are you ready to look,